Overlords are magicians that specialize in the amplification of emotions, the perception of time, pain, and fear in other individuals. They cast spells with the power of speech alone. Average spell range extends out to 45 m. They spend little time training to fight in armor, and as a consequence are only able to wear up to heavy robes without penalty. Later in their careers, many create wondrous crowns and other artifacts which aid them in their spellcasting, or can choose to study to become completely immune to spells of low/mid-level. By listening intently to the utterances coming from the mouth of his/her opponent, an overlord can sometimes determine the spell that is being cast. A roll under perception on D20 is all that is required. This skill is ineffective on elementalists, energy magi, mystics, and all other magicians that do not use the power of speech. To interrogate someone, they must be restrained. When threatening this character into telling you something, the following rules apply. Overlords have to roll over the sum of their charisma plus the prisoner's rank on a D20. For any other profession apart from warriors, the roll would be made on 2d8. If this roll is successful, then the prisoner must tell the truth as he knows it to that question. This procedure is followed with every question until it fails. When threatening fails, more unsavory means must be employed. Whilst actually torturing the captive, using subtle but effective magical pain amplification techniques, the overlord need only roll over their charisma, plus 1/2 prisoner's rank roundup, on 3d8. A minimal amount of harm is done to the human body during this kind of torture. An experienced overlord can inflict grievous pain while still leaving the subject conscious. They inflict DB health points damage per round, unless they can roll under their genetics on 3d8. For other professions, apart from warriors, it is D2P per round, each question. The magic that overlords practice lends itself to opulent city living, where there are many weak-minded fools to psychic ransom and control with spells. Quite highly valued by those in power and feared by those who are not, they are well respected by both. When dealing with high-level city officials and members of the social elite, overlords receive plus D4 charisma. Overlords command some respect when in the marketplace. Generally, if an overlord disputes the price of an article, it is reduced in price, lest he proclaim everything in the shop overpriced to the people in the area. If an overlord over mistress rolls under charisma, on D20 he/she receives a 10% discount on the price of the item. If a 1 is the result of this roll, then the price is reduced by 20%. Overlords can change their outward disposition to suit the circumstances. It is not common, but in some situations, a low charisma is more appropriate than a high value for this attribute. For example, threatening, dealing with very evil entities. If a character has precisely the same charisma as an NPC, it can sometimes be favorable because they then have at least something in common. GM's discretion. Whatever their charisma is above 10, it will become that far below 10 at will. This is because an overlord can allude to his There's a charisma % chance, unless negotiated previously with the GM, that an overlord will be of noble descent in a country that recognizes nobility.